sentence fragments. To be complete, a sentence must do three things or have three parts. It must have a subject, a verb, and it must express a complete thought. If a group of words does not do all of these things, it is a fragment, and we need to avoid fragments. This is a complete sentence. Notice that it has a subject, my homework, a verb, is taking, and that it expresses a complete idea. I am tired. However, this is an example of a fragment. There is no verb here. This is also an example of a fragment because there is no subject. Because my math homework is taking every waking hour is also a fragment because it doesn't complete an idea. What happens because math homework is taking every waking hour? Are you losing sleep? What happens? So even though the last group of words has a subject, math homework, and a verb, is taking, because of the word because, it does not express a complete thought. So it too is a fragment. You can have fragments that are simply phrases, a group of words that is missing a subject or a verb or both. So it cannot stand alone as a sentence. When you punctuate a phrase as if it's a sentence, you create a fragment. Look at this example. The sentence in black is a complete sentence. It has a subject, I, it has a verb, tried, and it expresses a complete thought. The words in red, however, are simply a phrase, such as bribing the professor. There's no subject, there's no verb, it's just a group of words. So the best way to fix this fragment is just to connect it to the sentence before it. And you get a sentence that looks like this. Same thing here. The first sentence is a complete sentence. The second is a fragment. It's a phrase fragment. And again, correct it by just attaching it to the sentence before. So, there you go. You can also have incomplete verb fragments, where you use a past or a present participle without the helping verb. For example, this ing word here is a present participle. Notice that you can't use it as the main verb of the sentence. The student sleeping in the back row. Well, what was that person doing? You would need more information to make it a complete sentence. The other thing you can do is simply add a helping verb. Now we have a complete sentence. The student was sleeping in the back row. So while that one is a fragment because it doesn't have a helper, that's a sentence because it does. A group of words that contains a subject and a verb, but starts with the dependent word, either a subordinating conjunction or a relative pronoun like who, which, and that, doesn't express a complete thought. Again, the first group of words, I kept working on my essay, is a complete sentence. The second group of words, although I was tired, is a fragment. Now notice that second group has a subject I and has a verb was. But because the word although is in front of I was tired, it makes that group of words dependent on additional information. Although I was tired, I still did my homework anyway. What happened? So notice again, in order to correct that fragment, I just attached it to the sentence before it. And now we have a complete thought. I kept working on my essay, although I was tired. Watch out for a common trap. Even if you write a lot of words, you don't necessarily write a complete sentence, and you always have to check. Look at this long string of words here, and listen to it. Although I have tried many ways to get an A, such as paying off the professor and offering to carry her books to class each day, and assuring her that I love my writing class more than life itself. Okay, I'm waiting on information to finish that thought. Now, read the sentence or the group of words without the although there. I have tried many ways to get an A, such as paying off the professor and offering to carry her books to class each day and assuring her that I love my writing class more than life itself. That's a sentence. But when you put this dependent word in front of an otherwise complete sentence, you create a fragment. You haven't finished the although idea, even though you have a lot of words, so you haven't finished your thought. But you knew that because you remember that a sentence is not complete unless it has a subject, a verb, and expresses a complete thought.